This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight from Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium, the I-70 series. It's interleague play this weekend. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. And welcome to our Bally Studios here in St. Louis with Brad Thompson, Jim Hayes. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And the Cardinals, well, they've won 3 straight. Sweep over the Pirates, and they're getting healthier tonight with the return of Jack Flaherty.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is exciting, isn't it? Jack Flaherty, we know how well he was throwing the ball. He was 8-1, had a 2.9 ERA, and he makes his first start since May 31st. And you know this, Dan, what a boost it is for a ball club to get a guy like this back. We know how good the Cardinals are going to have to play down the stretch to be a postseason team. And Jack Flaherty, well, he's going to have a lot to do with it.
It was late May when we saw him pitch last time. That was at Dodger Stadium. National League ranks at the time of his injury. May 31st, he was first in wins, second in winning percentage, third in pitches per start. The opponent only hitting 196, ERA below 3. You add that up, it's a good thing for St. Louis.
Yeah, there is no question. This guy's ready to rock and roll.
Mike Minor, the lefty, is on the mound for Kansas City. Cardinals trying to keep the bats rolling. The I-70 series, the Royals, the Cardinals, coming up on Bally Sports. In Pittsburgh, the Cardinals road trip takes them to Kansas City. A rematch of last weekend at Busch. Scene shifts across the state to KC. Royals Cardinals first pitch coming up next.
Future is here.
And Goldie hits a high fly ball at the wall. Gone! Arenado. Nolan goes deep. Tyler O'Neill, home run to dead center field. And the Cardinals bounce back with a 4-2 win against Kansas City. That was just a week ago, and now the scene shifts to Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The I-70 series, game 1 of 3 between St. Louis and the Kansas City Royals. 82 degrees across the state. And with Brad Thompson and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Great to have you with us. And a look at Mike Shilt's lineup. Tommy Edman at the top. Then Paul Goldschmidt. Nolan Arenado serving as the designated hitter. Tyler O'Neill feels good. He's back in left. Yachty behind the plate. Paul DeYoung, Harrison Bader. Edmundo Sosa at third tonight. Jose Rondon in right. So a different looking lineup for Mike Minor to deal with.
Well, saw Mike Minor last week, Friday it was. The Cardinals were able to put up 4 against him. The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Mike Minor uses that fastball up in the zone quite a bit. That's where he lives. Slider, changeup, also has the knuckle curve that he'll mix in. That pitch was actually a little bit effective. I got a feeling we'll see more of that curveball from Minor here today.
One of the reasons I think you say that is that 5 of the 7 hits he allowed last week in his last start against the Cardinals, including both home runs, were on the fastball. And the first pitch to Tommy Edman, taken for a ball, and we're underway.
Well, I think exactly what you were talking about there, too. The Cardinals jumping on that fastball of Minor's. That should be the thought process here. See it up and let it fly.
The 1-0 pitch. Edman with a drive into right center field. Well hit. Dyson over with the catch on the run. The edge of the track. If he doesn't get that, that's a triple. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Whit Merrifield there playing in his 421st consecutive game. He's at second. Lopez at short. Rivera, Santana on the corners. Sal Perez behind the plate. Benintendi, Dyson, and Dozier in the outfield. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Homered against Minor last weekend. Fastball outside. Jordan Baker calling the balls and strikes. Ryan Addington is at first. James Hoy at second. Chris Segal is at third. That's in there, and it's 1-1.
Well, a trend that we've seen here recently out of the Cardinals as they've won 5 of 6. They've been scoring a lot in the first inning. giving themselves an opportunity early on. Love to see it here.
Off the mask of Salvador Perez. 1-2 the count. Should be a fun weekend for the Cardinals in Kansas City, certainly for the fans, one way or another. Always a great trip. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Yeah, this is one of those, as a player, you love. You love going there. It does at times over the years has felt like a home game. Obviously, Kansas City, the Royals had some success for a while, kind of in that rebuild mode right now. But an easy trip and a fun one. And one of my favorite stadiums in all of baseball. I love Kauffman.
2-2 pitch. And the first strikeout for Minor.
Just goes to that fastball up in the zone again. 93, but it seems deceptive when he throws it. It gets up on the hitters pretty quickly there, especially up in the zone.
Cardinals are 8-2 under Mike Schilt at Kauffman Stadium, and 40-21 since the start of interleague play. A breaking ball and a strike to Nolan Arenado. So you get off your feet a bit, but still need that bat. He's the designated hitter.
Yeah, there is no such thing as a full day off for this guy, especially right now. You give him the opportunity to do one job, you'll take that. But you need that bat there.
He's had 9 extra base hits in his last 20 games. 9 walks, 13 strikeouts in that time frame, but 13 runs batted in and 4 the go-ahead variety. So you look at it and you say, what's he done for 2/3 of a month here? Last 20 games, only a 276 average, but he's made him count.
Yeah, doing some damage with it. And that'll be interesting too to see in the next couple of days how Schilte works his DH, because Dylan Carlson, having him banged up with the wrist issue, might not be available. So how do you piece it together?
2 balls and 2 strikes for Arenado. Just his 6th career game at Kauffman Stadium. His hit in the 5 previous. Couple of home runs, but hasn't played there since 2017. Missed down and in, full count. Tyler O'Neill feeling better, back in the lineup. And he is on deck. He had a 4-hit night just a week ago against these Royals. 3-2 pitch. Arenado pops it down the left field line. Benintendi over and out of room. Well, for so many years it was Alex Gordon manning left field, multiple Gold Glovers and beloved in Kansas City. Now Benintendi healthy enough to play. Remember last weekend dealing with a sore shoulder.
Yeah, Gordon was so good, and it just felt like he was going to keep playing forever, didn't it?
Sure did. And part of their championship teams, and really an integral part of their rebuild, was a top draft choice. Started as a third baseman, struggled defensively. They moved him to left, and he's one of the best they've ever had out there.
Yeah, part of the culture change over there, the attitude that he had, the work ethic. I had the opportunity to play with him in 2010 there with the Royals, and that was, as a young player for him, and you could tell he just had it. He had all those intangibles that you look for in a leader.
3-2 pitch, taken high, and a 2-out walk. It was such an interesting series last weekend for Tyler O'Neill. In this ball game Friday night, he goes 4 for 4, including that home run against the starter tonight, Mike Minor. Then the next day he strikes out 3 times. He's off balance, doesn't look great. Then the next day he gets 3 walks.
Yep. And you know what? I think that you're going to get a little bit of that with Tyler O'Neill, but it's the snapping back into it. We don't see the huge ups and downs out of him anymore. He's been more consistent overall, and it's good to see him back in the lineup today. That home run, too, that highlight that we showed, a fastball up in a little bit. I don't even think he hit the barrel on that. Yeah. I think that he just muscled that thing out of the ballpark.
O'Neill Shallow left, going out the shortstop, Nicky Lopez. He's had 71 consecutive games without an error. Puts it away. It's the return of Jack Flaherty tonight for St. Louis. Long-awaited return, and there's no score. Jack Flaherty in his first major league appearance since May 31st, and it comes tonight. And not a moment too soon for St. Louis.
Man, and probably for Jack Flaherty as well. You know he's been going crazy, being on the IL. This is a guy that's been healthy his whole career. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Jack Flaherty, if you don't remember what he's featuring, the great fastball. He's got the slider, the changeup. We'll mix in the knuckle curve as well. But looking forward to seeing Jack Flaherty out there. And this is one of those guys, when he's on the mound, you feel it. You're in the lineup, you're in that clubhouse, you know that guy's on the mound. It just gives you that extra boost. Pumped up to watch Jack today.
Whit Merrifield at the top for Mike Matheny's club. The Nicky Lopez, Sal Perez, Carlos Santana, Benintendi, Dozier, O'Hearn, Rivera, and Dyson. Whit Merrifield last night, 3 for 4. 33rd stolen base as he tied Carlos Beltran for the most consecutive stolen bases without being caught in Royals history, then thrown out trying to get number 34. Real key to last weekend and taking 2 of 3 for the Cardinals was keeping this guy in check. He was quiet, went 2 for 12 and struck out 3 times.
It's huge. It's huge. That guy changes everything when he gets on base.
The 0-1 pitch. All right, I asked ball game on the pregame. I said, okay, what's the line? What are you thinking with Jack Flaherty tonight?
Yeah, so he ran out on answering the question.
Well, he did say quality start as Merrifield lines it foul. So my partner tonight, Brad Thompson, what are you thinking for Jack Flaherty?
Yeah, well, look, he hasn't thrown above 75 pitches yet in any of his starts. And the key to the game, Toyota key to the game here for Jack Flaherty, it's going to be control and controlling a couple of things. One, controlling the counts like we're talking about. You want to be efficient. You want to get that quality start that Jim Edmonds was talking about. Well, you got to be in counts like this, 1-2. But it's also controlling the emotions. You haven't pitched in 73 days in the big leagues. You know he's excited.
Good fastball, the 94 popped up down the right field line and foul.
Already love what we're seeing out of him, filling up the zone with the fastball, being aggressive. I think that ends up being big. So that was going to be one of my questions, is where we think that pitch count is going to be. I mean, there is a number. They're not telling us what that number is, but there is in fact going to be a number, and some of it's going to be the eyeball test. Schulte, Mike Maddox, they're going to be looking at him, seeing how he's feeling, how he's laboring. But I would love to see him give you 5 and then a little more.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Merrifield drives it into center, backing up Bader with the catch. Cardinals defense, Edmundo Sosa at third base. DeYoung at short, Edman at second, Goldie at first, Molina behind the plate, O'Neill, Bader, and Rondon. That trio in the outfield. Around the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. There's Nicky Lopez, no home runs, but good speed. He'll mix in doubles, triples, and he's playing great defense, and he's in there just about every day.
I enjoy watching Nicky Lopez play. I mean, he flat out picks it. To your point, not a threat, though. Stay down with fastball, stay away from him. Likes the ball elevated. That's where he does any of the damage. And damage is relative.
0-1 the count on Lopez. Wasn't even to be their everyday shortstop, and then they had some injuries, and he has been outstanding. Rolled up the first base line. Flaherty with the tag and the out. Two outs and Salvador Perez.
Jack Flaherty just pouncing off the mound right here, makes a good pitch. Slider gets in on Lopez, who can move a little bit. Smart move to go with the tag here.
One of the great catchers in today's game, and two of them on display tonight in Yachty and this guy Salvador Perez. He's got 29 home runs. That's good fastball.
That's the swing.
Top 5 home run hitters in Royals history. George Brett 317, Mark Sweeney 197, Amos Otis at 193, Alex Gordon 190, and then Salvador Perez. He's in the top 5 at 181. But how about that though, Brad? He plays every day. He's your catcher, doesn't DH much. Your hands are your tools as a catcher, and he's got 29 home runs.
It's amazing. Well, he broke his own record with the 29 home runs for a guy that gets all of his at-bats, I mean, largely as a catcher. It's been amazing to watch him.
The 1-1 pitch, a slider.
I don't know how you felt, Dan, but when the field was announced for the home run derby, I was like, Salvador Perez.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, those kind of back him up.
And then you watch the first round.
Salvi put on a show. He was out there just crushing everything. You look at some of the numbers, the exit velocities, the hard hit rates. This guy's name, he is up there.
The 2-1 pitch to Perez. Good slider, 2-2.
That's Jack Flaherty right there. You're in a hitter's count, 2-1. Can't group this guy a fastball. Throws him a good slider under the zone.
It's pumping strikes, and this will be the 12th pitch. The first inning for Flaherty. Fastball in.
Sets him up perfectly for that same slider away. Throw it for a strike. Really impressed with how in control Jack is of his mechanics right now. Would think after the 73 days, not that mechanically he'd be off, but the energy, the excitement, he'd be rushing a little bit towards the plate. Not seeing that.
Breaks his bat, and the base hit into center. Broke his bat, and I think he was concerned as he looks back again. Yeah, a lot of times you see that broken bat, and it'll go flying back on a catcher or an umpire. And it's a 2-out single for Salvador Perez.
Well, you know, the catcher is going to be the first one that thinks about something like that because he's been hit with a bunch of those. Good pitch. Jack doubled up on the fastball in, got it exactly where he wanted to. But that thing finds a home in center field. And a sore thumb for Salvi.
You bet. Carlos Santana. He has been scuffling here lately. 14 for his last 100. No home run since July 24th. And he pops it up. Long run for Sosa. Can't come up with it.
He had to go a long way to get to that ball. I'm surprised he made it as close as he did.
Where's O'Neill?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's looking for him. Come on, man, help me out.
You coming? Your way's easier. Well, O'Neill with the big bat is probably shading too a little bit towards center field. And I know that Santana, I mean, you just brought up the numbers, 14 for his last 100. Still dangerous though. All it takes is that one swing.
Cardinals outfield very deep for the cleanup man. The first baseman of the Royals. Doesn't get that call, and it's 1-1. Just a 167 hitter against St. Louis in his career. Many years with Cleveland, and then signed with Kansas City.
Remember, he had that monster year in 2019.
Yes.
All-star, 34 home runs.
Well, among active switch hitters, now he will draw a ton of walks. He's third in the AL with 68 walks, but among active switch hitters, first in homers, second in hits, and second in runs, first in walks.
It was a pretty good lineup for the Indians in 2019. You were trotting out Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Santana. Pretty solid.
This is a hitter's count, 2-1, and he's hitting just .213 at these counts, lowest average in baseball. Bit surprising. 2-1 pitch. Lifted down the left field line and out of play.
Just Good life right there. 93 miles an hour down in the zone.
Pitch number 18 of the first inning coming up for Flaherty. The 2-2. Hold foul. Cardinals are minus Dylan Carlson. Jim had the news on the pregame show about Wade LeBlanc dealing with the sore elbow. And he'll have more on Carlson coming up later in our telecast. The 2-2 pitch. Full count.
It sure would be nice, Dan, to just have good news instead of the good news. Oh, and it seems to be the case for the Cardinals here recently. They get a guy back off the IL. Somebody ends up landing on it. Ends up just back and forth. It's been a battle, certainly.
Perez off with the pitch and struck him out with a slider. Welcome back, Jack Flaherty. Scoreless first inning back and a strikeout. And Yachty due up first when we come back. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Royals Hall of Fame, part of Kauffman Stadium's outfield experience. It's on the west side of the ballpark. So if you're heading to Kauffman Stadium tomorrow or Sunday, take it in. Here's Yadier Molina, top of the second inning, and a strike. The Kia player profile with Yachty in the starting lineup tonight, who's hit .331 at this ballpark. Second highest among active players. He's been dropping to a knee a bunch. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Takes that big cut and drops to a knee.
I also know that, and this is a different situation with nobody on, but we've seen him so many times take those big hacks and then 2 strikes, shorten up.
0-2, grounded fair. Plenty of time for Rivera to make the play in the first out. Shortstop Paul DeYoung, who's picked it up here recently. 7 for his last 23, a pair of doubles, pair of home runs, and driven in 6 in his last 6 games.
It was good to hear him to talk about some of the adjustments that he's made and some of the thought process while he's up there of not trying to get too big, not getting pull happy, have that good two-handed swing, shoot the ball up the middle.
Check swing and strike one. We forget he's got 93 home runs, 87 as a shortstop, and it's a wide margin, but that's a Cardinals franchise record. This season with 16 after 2 in the past series at PNC. The 0-1. Nothing in 2.
That speaks to the evolution of the position, doesn't it?
Yes.
Of just how much, and we know how glove first it was, and Cardinal fans got to see it firsthand for a very long time with the best ever shortstop in Ozzie Smith, who did have a couple of big home runs, certainly.
Hey, Cardinal fan, nice play.
Yeah, Royals fan drops that for sure.
0-2. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, good thing it didn't go to her.
Because of the Royals jersey.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Well, she would have dropped it, chances are. Royals fans again.
Breaking ball and struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Minor. And there's 2 away here in the top of the second.
That knuckle curve, a really good look at it out of the hand. Pops up. Wasn't a great location, but just froze him with the pitch.
But we saw when Bader came back in July, basically the entire month really swung the bat well. Maybe the best we have seen him swing the bat. But since the 28th of July, he's 8 for his last 47. That's a 170 average. Looks to me like he's got his hands up slightly. I thought his hands had really dropped.
They were very low, and it was working for him for a while too. And it comes down to feel, right? If you find yourself stuck in a little bit of a rut, you go back to something else.
I talked to him about it, and he said it's something when you drop your hands relaxes the shoulders, and he's just, you know, he said everything's got to be in sync with it, but it was more comfortable for him.
Well, I think that's a really easy exercise. You can do that at home. You lift your hands up, the shoulders start shrugging.
That's fouled back. 2 strikes on the Cardinals center fielder. With Brad Thompson, Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. We're in our studios in St. Louis at Bally Sports. Cardinals weekend series at the K. Off day Monday, and then Milwaukee in town. David Freese night at the ballpark on Tuesday, and good seats available for you. 1-2.
I know you had a chance recently, Dan, to catch up with David Freese. How's Freezer doing?
Doing great. 2 little kids. His whole family will be there on Tuesday. He's fired up about coming back.
I like that guy a lot.
Hard not to.
People. Yeah, just good people.
Yep. Top of the zone and a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Minor, and 3 through 2 innings. And we check in with the great Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Danny, Dylan Carlson not in the lineup tonight. He's dealing with a right wrist issue. Mike Schultz says it's a sore/sprained wrist. Schultz says the imaging on the wrist came back negative, which is good news, but Schultz says Dylan isn't ready to swing a bat just yet. Cards are still waiting on the results of imaging done here in St. Louis on Wade LeBlanc's left elbow. Wade came out of last night's game after just 2 innings of work with the elbow discomfort. He went on the 10-day IL today. Schultz says he'll know more about what's next for Wade once they get those results, Danny.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Benintendi, former Boston Red Sox outfielder. The 2-0 pitch lifts a fly ball to left fielder. Tyler O'Neill under it and with the catch. Decide baseball's biggest blooper, and you can win your own air-free fan experience. Fill out MLB Oops bracket presented by Mattress Firm at MLB.com/bracket for your chance to win. Restrictions apply. See official rules. Well, not too far away from Kansas City is the Field of Dreams, and last night Major League Baseball, I'm not sure they could have drawn it up any better. Great weather, great game, great finish, production. It was the highest rated regular season telecast since 2005.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I felt like a little kid watching that. As Kevin Costner emerges from the cornfield,
awesome.
And then the White Sox and the Yankees come out behind him. I mean, Major League Baseball nailed it.
Dozier hits it down the right field line, but foul. So here it was last night, and it went back and forth, and they had the drone coverage too. That was a blimp. They had Aaron Judge coming out of the corn with his teammates and White Sox players. And this is how it ended. Tim Anderson with a walk-off homer to right, and just a celebration of the sport.
It was special, and it was one of those ones where if you were at that ball game, if you were one of the fortunate few to be in attendance, you got a story to tell for it. And I hope that is a tradition that ends up continuing here, because it was really neat.
Well, David Ross of the Cubs kind of let the cat out of the bag. They're going to go back there next year, and he had intimated that the Cubs would be one of the teams. And there's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Jack Flaherty. I don't know. I'd love to see the St. Louis Cardinals there, and maybe we need to go cover that event.
Dan, I mean, if the Cubs are going to play there, who else would they play? Like, well, what would be better? Good slider by Jack Flaherty, and I am with you. Now, will you do the get up? Are you going to, dress as if it were the time?
Absolutely.
Saw a lot of that last night, and I kind of liked it.
I did that with Al a few years ago when the Orioles were in St. Louis, and it was a turn back the clock day. So the Orioles were wearing the Browns uniform, old St. Louis Brown unis, and I had the fedora with I actually made a little patch that said press on the side of it. I wore suspenders. I was ready.
Dapper gentleman, you.
Absolutely.
I could see you in a little seersucker suit, too.
For sure. That was the best part. Designated hitter Ryan O'Hearn.
I like that first pitch of the at-bat. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball down and on the corner.
O'Hearn is 6 for 15 last 3 games against St. Louis. Cardinals needed everybody yesterday. Jose Rondon, Wade LeBlanc, Lars Nootbaar, TJ McFarland, Luis Garcia. Everybody pitched in. Nootbaar getting that pinch hit homer, first of his career. McFarland got the win in relief of Wade LeBlanc. Rondon went 1 for 2. Luis Garcia, who signed as a free agent back on the 9th of July, is starting to become a weapon out of the pen. 3-1 pitch, 3-2.
Another good fastball. And you're right, Luis Garcia, you could tell right off the bat that he had good stuff. I mean, he was showing you the mid to upper 90s, in the upper 90s fastball. Good breaking ball as well, but it seems like he's harnessed it. That's another nice weapon. The Cardinals could use another arm or two in that bullpen they feel like they can go to.
3-2 pitch, fouled away. Three-two pitch, popped foul and out of play.
He showed him the fastball down a couple of times, elevates a little bit there. O'Hearn does a good job of getting a little wood on it, making Jack work a little bit. And that's going to be the game plan for the Royals against Jack Flaherty. You know, it's his first time coming back off of the IL. It's been a while. You know he's going to be on that pitch count. They're going to try to make him work. The key for Jack is keep filling up that zone. Make the most out of however many pitches you have.
3-2 pitch. In play left side. Sosa in foul territory. The third baseman tonight. Flaherty at 1-2-3 coming up. Sosa, Rondon, and Edman. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City in the corner of 18th and Vine. Make sure you see it. Royals with our only hit tonight. That was a base hit by Salvador Perez. No scored, top of the third. Edmundo Sosa, Jose Rondon, and Tommy Edman for St. Louis. Minor has walked a man. That was Arenado. He has struck out 3, and that's strike 1.
You're going to see a lot of that from Minor. He likes to pitch inside on the righties. We'll try to tie him up with that slider and elevate with the fastball.
Upstairs, and it's 1-1. Tied him up again, popped foul and out of play.
Well, if he stays right there, he's going to have a lot of success. But the thing that Minor does do oftentimes is he tries to go in there to the righties, specifically with that fastball. then it leaks arm side, and that's where the trouble happens.
Perez wants it down, goes down to a knee, left it up and fouled back. A ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals have 48 games left, including tonight. 29 of the 48 against teams that are fighting for a playoff berth. Strikeout number 4, and that's 3 in a row for Minor. Sunday, August 22nd, First Responders Appreciation Day at Busch Stadium, presented by Together Credit Union. Purchase of a special themed ticket, receive an exclusive Cardinals First Responders t-shirt. Portion of each ticket donated to the Backstoppers. Cardinals.com/theme. So Jose Rondon, who was brought up from Memphis on May 29th and is stuck, also mixed in a nice defensive play in left in the ball game yesterday with a sliding catch. Went 1 for 2, a double and a run scored.
Well, if you want to make an epic run, and I mean that's what's going to have to be for the Cardinals. They want to be a part of October baseball. It takes a village, doesn't it? I mean, it's going to take your whole roster. You're going to have unexpected heroes. Had a lot of those in the ball game yesterday, as you've mentioned. Your big guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have to carry you, but everybody's going to have to contribute.
Rondon spent time in the American League and good numbers against Kansas City in his career. 9 for 18, home run and 4 walks.
I like how Mike Minor is getting in on the righties. He might use that changeup off of it. He's spotting that up pretty well. Going to go in with the slider.
The 2-1 out of play, and it's 2-2. So of the 48 games left, if you look at winning percentage of the teams left on the schedule, the Cardinals have the 4th hardest remaining schedule in the National League.
Awesome.
A lot of games remaining with Milwaukee. Going to see San Diego, the Mets. They're fighting for playoff positioning. Should be fun.
Gonna have to earn it.
Time is called.
A couple of teams you mentioned there too. We know how good the Brewers have been, and I mean those 3 starters they have off the top. That is really, really good. But the starting pitching for the Padres has been struggling. Like it has been an issue. And same thing with the Mets.
Rondon into center, backing up Dyson, shy of the track with the catch. Mets finding out that Jacob deGrom has been pushed back again. They're hopeful for Noah Syndergaard to come back. Hasn't pitched at all this year in the big league club, and if and when he returns, he goes to the bullpen. San Diego had issues with Yu Darvish last night, so things can change in a hurry.
Yes, Snell has been inconsistent for them, as has Joe Musgrove. Mets also place Javi Baez on the IL today. There's going to be some opportunity, but it comes down to the Cardinals just playing baseball. They do their thing and see what happens. See how the chips fall.
Pitch up and away to Tommy Edman. Fly to center first time up. First time through the lineup. Cardinals had 1 base runner, Nolan Arenado. Minor can be tough first time through. Opponents hitting just 191 against him.
Well, you're seeing him with his fastball, using it to set up everything else. The Cardinals last time out hammered the heater. They jumped on all of them for strikes, and I think he learned from that one.
2-1.
It's a pitch right there. You don't. Tommy Edman's not looking to drive that. It's a backdoor slider. You let him have it. You wait for that one over the plate.
Good slider. Evens it up at 2-2.
From back door to back foot. I mean, that's pretty tough to cover. Same exact pitch. The last one on the 2-0, he throws it for a strike on the corner, and this one just buries it. That one, too, you might be watching it on television and say, why do you swing at that? It looks like it's going right down the middle, and then when you've already committed, it's on your foot.
Pitch up, popped up, and out of play.
He has had, though, in this ball game, a couple of 2-strike pitches that he's gotten away with that have been hittable. He's gone to the curveball a few times in a count like this.
Edman, fly ball, shallow right, and the catch made by Dozier. 7 in a row after the walk for Minor. Great place to take in a game. The west side of the state, T-Mobile coverage cam, Kauffman Stadium. They invested about $250 million into that area. For the baseball side, $250 on the football side. The stadium is right there for both. And really did wonderful renovations with that ballpark.
It's pretty. People are surprised sometimes. I'm asked oftentimes that one of some of my favorite places to play, and Kauffman comes up on my list pretty quickly. You enjoy going there?
Loved it. I always, every year, take in the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Our buddy Bob Kendrick gives me a private tour. Got to know some people, Brad.
I know you. That's why I know I'm going with you next time we're there.
It's awesome. Love taking that in. The plaza, and then head out and go watch a little big league baseball. A ball and a strike. 8th place hitter Emmanuel Rivera, third baseman. Gerard Dyson, and then Whit Merrifield. Flaherty's allowed 1 hit. That backs up. Take it for a ball. There was a broken bat single to center by Salvador Perez.
Jack has done a really nice job of getting ahead overall. 7 for 8 so far in first pitch strikes. Trying to be as efficient as possible.
The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Like seeing stuff like that too. Good adjustments. He had a slider the pitch before that popped out of his hand, kind of got under it. That time stays back a little further, executes a pitch on the corner.
Two pitch, and a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3. It's like he hasn't missed a beat, man. He looks good.
That heater's got a little zip on it too. I mean, I like the plane that this thing just keeps coming in at. And I love the mechanics with Jack anyhow. Everything is slow, and then quick arm. See a lot of guys too much try to make, there's too many movements beforehand, trying to make the body go too fast. It's all about the fast arm, and Jack has got a quick one.
Dyson 0 for 5 against Jack Flaherty. .224, no home runs, great speed. Driven in 9, and there's the defensive alignment for the Cardinals. Sosa in on the grass, ready for that bunt.
Dyson made the play on Tommy Edman to lead off this game look routine with his speed. It should have been triple where he was playing.
Yeah.
And he can play that way. He can shade differently because of the speed that he has. But I thought that thing was going to be down for sure. And he just catches it on the run.
The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Paints the outside corner, and back-to-back Ks for Flaherty, and 4 in 3 innings of work thus far.
Yeah, it's nice to have this guy back.
That's nasty.
That is just painted right there on the corner. Dyson, I mean, he can't do anything with that pitch. That just nicks the outside edge. That beautiful 4-seam spin. You see it just tumbling in there.
Outside corner, he is painting right now. Same pitch, nothing in 2.
The thing with Jack, it's kind of funny as you look right now. He's got 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. The pitch count is up to 46. He's been pumping strikes. But the thing about him, his stuff is so good. Oftentimes he's hard to just square up and put in play. I mean, you get a ton of foul balls against him also. Nice play. Probably a Cardinal fan.
0-2 pitch.
Yeah, there's no question. If he's not wearing his Royals gear, that's a Cardinal fan.
He's got a Grateful Dead shirt.
Yeah, deadhead.
Ground ball left side. Sosa gloves and makes the play. We're through 3. The return of Jack Flaherty, and there is no score. And Papa John's teaming up to bring fans a special offer on tickets. Limited time, $6 tickets. Cardinals host the Brewers next week. Tigers in late August. Get those $6 tickets. Cardinals.com/Papa John's. Paul Goldschmidt leads it off. I think the homestand is going to be a lot of fun. You get David Freese his night on Tuesday, and then the weekend is the Hall of Fame celebration. 2 days for Bob Gibson and Lou Brock. Each individually will be recognized Friday and Sunday, and then sandwiched in between them will be the Hall of Fame ceremony a week from tomorrow, which is open to the public. It'll be outside. And therefore strike 1-1. Goldie struck out first time up.
And just from a baseball standpoint, when you come home, you have your first of 13 head-to-heads for the rest of the season against the Brewers. Trying to chase those guys down. Trying to chase everybody down at this point. That's where you start.
And the 1-2. Only blemish so far for Minor was 2-out walk to Nolan Arenado. And that has been it since then. 7 in a row. The 2-2 pitch. Took something off it and a strikeout. That's 5 already in 3 1/3. This day 1979. Lou Brock of a Dennis Lamp and the Chicago Cubs. 3,000 for Lou Brock. It'll be a week from tonight where we'll honor Lou. His family will be there. Number and signature will be the giveaway on a t-shirt. Looking forward to that. Strike to Arenado.
I've seen that highlight a few times, Dan, and it's just it's special, right? Obviously the 3,000th hit. I can't stop watching Dennis Lamp, the pitcher.
Go down.
He's crawling on his knees and holding his hands as everybody else is celebrating.
Pitch taken high. Arenado with a drive into deep left at the wall. 1-0 St. Louis. Arenado with number 23.
It was bound to happen. Mike Minor was going to make a mistake at some point. He does so with the slider. It rolls in. He's been doing a good job with this pitch. He's been spotting it away. He's been going back foot in on the righties, but not this time. He leaves it over the heart of the plate, and Nolan does his thing.
Last 6 starts, he had given up 10 home runs, and a home run here puts St. Louis on top. And that's driven out to center. Back to back. Tyler O'Neill, number 19. 2-0 Redbirds.
This game changes in a hurry. I mean, Mike Minor had been spotting up everything. Great look at the circle change. And this thing is middle in. And you see the balance swing there by Tyler O'Neill, keeping the hands back, going straight through that pitch.
Career home run number 40, RBI number 100. 5th set of back-to-back home runs for the Cardinals. Two and 0.
There's some guys that end up being a good matchup for you. I got a feeling that Tyler O'Neill feels that way about Mike Minor. 4 for 5 now, 2 home runs and a double.
2 balls, no strikes on Yadier Molina. Molina rips it down into the corner. On his way to second base. Standing up with a double. Double 397 in the career of Yadier Molina. He passes Gabby Hartnett, 5th all-time among primary catchers in Major League Baseball history.
As you hear faintly in the background, chance of Yadi going on at Kaufman. Another slider gets under it, stays up, and Yadi's hammer time down the line. Just jumping all over it, and a guy in Minor who again was spotting up, wasn't making any mistakes. He has made 3 big ones in a row here. Cal Eldred going to talk it over with Mike Minor.
Wow, that happened quickly. Back-to-back home runs. Arenado number 23, O'Neill number 19, and Yadi with another historic hit. Every time he puts one in play, it seems like it's history, but that is 397 doubles and 5th all-time among primary catchers in doubles in Major League history.
I was just going to say, I feel like every time, Dan, if I'm not working one of these games, you know I'm watching, and you guys are always breaking down some historical mark that he has surpassed. It's fun. There's a lot more to go for Yadier Molina, I got a feeling.
Here's Paul DeYoung. And a high strike. DeYoung struck out looking first time up.
And no need to do him any favors at this point. That ball's definitely up.
It's getting underneath that slider, isn't he?
Yeah, it's dangerous, especially against a guy like this.
The 0-1 pitch.
Now he's trying too hard too. I mean, you give up the couple of home runs in a row, then the double, you start gripping the ball a little bit tighter, starting to get a little antsy. He was free and easy spotting up early.
Ground ball pulled foul.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to that pitch. It seemed like it allowed him to slow himself down a little bit. Went with the curveball there. Didn't pull off of that. That's a pitch that you just got to have a feel for. You can't try to throw that one through the backstop.
The 1-2 pitch. Kept in front, 2-2. The strikeout to begin the inning. Solo home run, Arenado. Then O'Neill to center. Molina the double. And a 2-2 pitch. Just missed in, 3-2. Got him. Pitch up and a strikeout of DeYoung. The 6th in the ball game, 2 in the inning, twice a pull DeYoung. While we have a moment, quick word from Brown and Brown.
Brown & Brown is on the road too. So if you're injured in a car crash or hurt on the job, call us for free. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
Now Bader. Two outs, Molina at second. Bader puts it in play slowly up the third base line. No chance to get him. Runners at the corners with 2 down. Well, you take them any way you can get them.
It's a laser in the books right there, right? This one eats him up a little bit, gets in on the hands. And as soon as that ball was hit, you knew he had no chance to be able to get him there. Rivera, strong arm, nice play. He's just got way too much speed.
The 4th innings of starts this year for Minor, for whatever reason, coming into tonight, his ERA was around 8. And that continues this evening. 4 hits in the inning. A couple of home runs allowed. Bader's 11th infield hit this year, tied with Sosa, as Edmundo pops it foul. He struck out first time up.
Goes back to something you were talking about right in the beginning of the ball game, Dan, is how first time around he has success, and then second time around it seems like the guys are able to time him up a little bit. Definitely been the case here, and he has made some mistakes and they've made him pay for it.
Runners at the corners with 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch, instead a check on Harrison Bader. I mean, that's a thing in an American League game. Let's just say Bader steals. In a National League game, you're dealing with the 8th place hitter. You might walk him to bring up the pitcher, but you're not going to do that here. And Sosa pops it up into shallow center, backing up Whit Merrifield. The Cardinals go back-to-back. Nolan with number 23. Moments later, Tyler O'Neill, number 19, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. Jack Flaherty returning to the big leagues tonight. Brad Thompson, what have you seen?
Well, he hasn't skipped a beat at this point. Jack Flaherty is in here pounding his fastball on the corners, in and out. The slider is working well off of it. He's getting ahead of everybody. 9 of 10 first pitch strikes, and the one hit that he surrendered, Salvador Perez needs a new bat and a thumb because he got in on him so well. Been fun to watch Jack so far.
Pitch on the outside corner to Nicky Lopez. So in 3 innings, 48 pitches, 31 strikes, 9 of 10, and now 10 of 11 first pitch strikes. The 0-1.
Little stuff that goes kind of unnoticed in ball games, and something that I think we'll really see when Yachty ends up being gone. That first pitch, really nice pitch by Jack, 4-seam fastball right off the corner, but Yachty caught that in the palm of his glove so he could present it as if it were over the heart of the plate. It's little stuff like that that just steals the strikes, that changes momentum in games.
Ground ball slowly hit. DeYoung, 1 away. So he's allowed just 1 base hit, no walks, struck out 4 thus far. Salvador Perez has the only hit, broken bat single to center in the first. Jack debuted at the age of 21 back in 2017, a game September 1st at San Francisco. Made 5 starts down the stretch of that year. Went 0-2. And then the next season, 2018, really a breakout year. Made 28 starts as Perez hits a fly ball to right fielder Jose Rondon. So his first full year in the rotation, a 3.34 ERA, 5th in the Rookie of the Year. Age of 23, 2019. 4-6 before the break. Historic second half, 0.91 ERA. Last year, Cardinals built him back up because of the COVID season. They were very careful with him, and now 25. He's been on the injured list since June 1st, and a nice return so far.
Yeah, there's no way around it. With everything that you were talking about here from 2017 and on, I mean, he's on a star path. That's the kind of arm that he is, and it's just all about continuing to grow and building on it. Love seeing it. You know, again, as we were talking about off the top, Dan, just how good that feels when that guy is on the mound, when you know it's win day when he's out there. Cardinals have certainly had that in Adam Wainwright. They got another one here.
Back to Flaherty. He'll underhand to Paul Goldschmidt in a 1-2-3 inning. And he is settled in. Welcome back, Jack Flaherty, 2-0. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. Looks to be a beautiful night in the Midwest in Kansas City. The Cardinals with back-to-back solo home runs, 2-0. Arenado and O'Neill in deep. It'll be the 9th place hitter, Rondon, in right field tonight. Then Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt. First pitch, a strike. On the flip side, Jack Flaherty, 1 hit allowed. He has struck out 4. That was a 6-pitch bottom of the 4th, and he's retired 10 straight.
That efficient 4th helped out a ton.
Yes. Speaking of efficient, I think the Cardinals feel so much better about this game in particular, and certainly needed it yesterday. But Adam Wainwright saves your bullpen, 88 pitches. So you don't go to the pen. They get a night off. Wade LeBlanc gives you 2 innings. You got to go to a bunch of relievers. And we know Jack Flaherty's not throwing a complete game tonight. You're going to have to go to your pen at some point. But you feel a lot better when one of your starters on this trip gives you a complete game.
Yeah, it's, and you know, stop me if you've heard this before, but Waino saved you again. I mean, that's kind of, that has been the MO the last couple of years. Heck, it's been the MO for the last decade plus.
It fouled down the right field line.
That was so enjoyable to watch him do that and just carve up that Pirates team. And I realize that the Pirates are not the 27 Yankees, but he had that team eating out of his hands. And
Sure
he's putting everything where he wanted to.
Hung that line to left and a base hit. Drops in front of Andrew Benintendi. Rondon aboard with a leadoff hit to start the 5th.
Slow curveball just rolls in for Rondon. The knuckle curve, see it pop up out of his hand, and Rondon able to stay back enough to be able to serve it out into left.
It's a 4-game hitting streak now for Rondon. Getting better and better coming off the bench too.
Not an easy job.
Nope. There's Tommy Edman. Talked about it on the pregame show with Jim Edmonds. We broke down the Cardinal pinch hitters here in the last week or so. And the Royals came at their expense last weekend. You had Carpenter, Rondon, all Nootbaar, all coming up and picking up base hits. And then pinch hit, 2-run homer by Lars Nootbaar yesterday in Pittsburgh. First home run of his career.
I really appreciated your call on that as well.
You got to have a little fun with it.
Look, that's what everybody in St. Louis was screaming. Noot!
Even some folks at Pittsburgh, you could hear it.
Yeah, the Noot
faintly.
bomb.
Third time through a lineup, opposition hitting above 300 against Minor. Tommy hits it sharply to third. Rivera to Merrifield, the turn, and not in time. Royals have turned, by the way, 112 double plays in 113 games.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
This is the changeup. It's up in the zone, but gets him out in front. Rivera makes a nice turn, but Tommy moves too well.
Think of the difference of the slide rule now for Whit Merrifield to, and you saw a little jump, but there are times that kind of throw, he'd be in left field, Dan, putting him out there with a slide.
As I was watching that replay, that's all I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I miss when you could just come in hot over at second base. And really, like, what I miss about it, it's not the contact and the someone getting hurt. I like the intricacy of, like, the footwork. How creative can you be and still get off a good throw? How brave are you to hang in there, make sure you get the out and see if you can turn it? Because that is not fun when somebody is boring down on you at second base. You know they're coming in hot. One of my favorite guys to watch do that, and I think about him all the time, is Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan, if there was somebody standing anywhere near the bag, he would plant them somewhere. You knew that guy was coming in.
It was coming.
Yes.
In Kansas City, I think Hal McRae.
Oh, yeah. Was it Hal McRae that did the barrel roll on a guy at second base? Like, he just came in and tackled him.
Yeah. I mean, there's one instance of a replay. We showed it, I think it was earlier this year, maybe last, but Hal McRae went in, and it was like watching a scene from the baseball game of Naked Gun. I mean, it was ridiculous. The strike to Goldschmidt, 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. Royals have turned at least one double play in 39 of their last 49 games. And as I mentioned before, 112 turn this season.
That's silly. I mean, that is a crazy number. We have seen Minor, though, make some mistakes. This is not a guy to make one to.
Minor does have a good move towards first, and he'll do that. Sometimes he'll just step, throw. He'll quick pitch you. He'll do a lot of different things. He was a pitcher at Vanderbilt, and they went through various moves trying to neutralize a running game.
Yeah, that's something that they hammered in early on in Minor. Some lefties, you figure it out quickly when everybody's taking advantage of you.
There's that quick step. Perez a throw, and back in safely Tommy Edman. Goldie still trying to get a home run at Kauffman Stadium to check off his stadium home run list. He's homered in 23 of 25 ballparks overall he's played in. Two and two.
So he's punched him out twice so far. It was the fastball up in the first at bat. Then he got him fishing on a changeup.
Long look, the 2-2 hit up the middle, base hit, Paul Goldschmidt. Edman racing to third. Good base running on a single to center. Cardinals, one of the best teams in baseball since Mike Schilt took over, going first to third. Runners at the corners, and here comes Nolan. Nissan drive of the game back in the fourth inning. Solo home run. Number 23, RBI number 70 for Nolan Arenado.
Kind of where the wheels fell off there for a minute for Minor, who'd been throwing the ball so well. He made the mistake on the slider down the middle. He hits it out of the ballpark. Then it was a changeup out of the ballpark. Then Yadier Molina hit a double. I mean, things escalated quickly.
He has walked tonight. He was the only base runner the Cardinals had for the first 3 innings. Chopped foul. Near Pop Warner, the Cardinals third base coach. Cardinals have scored 4 or more runs in 8 straight games. First time they've done that since August of 2018. Last 8 games, 8 different Cardinals have hit at least 1 home run. The 1 pitch. Nothing in 2.
I still do believe that down the stretch, that's what's going to have to carry this Cardinal team. Now, while you're getting reinforcements on the pitching side, that is great to see. And Jack Flaherty's looked really good today. You're getting Miles Michaelis back soon. And pitching and defense has been a hallmark of this team. The offense is going to have to come alive and do so in a major way.
0-2 the count. And Arenado pops it up right side. Carlos Santana gives it a look and out of play. Looks to be a pretty big crowd at Kauffman Stadium. A lot of red in the seats. Cardinal fans always travel well, and certainly across the state. There it is.
Kind of a 50-50 split, doesn't it look like?
Pretty much. Crowd was into it with those back-to-back homers too. You heard the Cardinal fans. They want to go in. Here's an 0-2 pitch. I think you're playing with fire if you do that with Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, look, if you get it in there, you're okay. Like, you can get him to expand his zone. You can jam him inside because he is generally very aggressive in there. But boy, if you miss something that touches a little bit too much of the plate, he's going to put that way out in left field.
The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Runners at the corners. On to play again. Well, guys will talk about it. Some do not like being just a DH, but then the manager has to make that decision for them to say, get off your feet. May use you late, especially with Arenado and his defense, but sometimes that can re-energize a player too.
It's about, and especially down the stretch, and the Cardinals do have some off days coming up, a lot of Mondays that they end up getting off down the stretch. But any time that you can build in a little bit of rest for a player can pay some big dividends.
The 2-2 again. Arenado yanks it foul near the Cardinal dugout.
That's 2 swings in a row where you could just tell he's just trying to spoil something. Spoil it close. Did so on the fastball up above the zone. The little half swing there, just fighting that one off, waiting for that mistake that he knows can come because he saw it last at bat.
Domingo Tapia getting loose in the bullpen for the Royals. It's another 2-2 pitch. 2 runners on, a 2-0 lead. Fouled back. Arenado with runners in scoring position. A .347 hitter this year. 6 doubles, a triple, and 5 homers. The 2-2 pitch. Arenado drives it into left center, and the catch is made by Dyson. Clowney deep to score Tommy Edman. Nolan with a pair of runs batted in, and it adds to the lead. It's 3-0 Cardinals. Great at bat, Nolan Arenado. Cardinals back in the 4th, went back to back. Nolan and then Tyler O'Neill over the wall in center, and his 19th home run of the year. Breaking ball and a strike. pitches by inning. Started off okay, and then last 2 innings, 20 plus. Number 91 on its way here from Minor. 0-2 the count. Arenado 54th career sacrifice fly, tied with Brandon Crawford and Nelson Cruz. 12th among active players. Brandon Crawford just signed a 2-year extension with the Giants.
He was another one of those free agent shortstops to be less talked about, but having a monster season, and another guy that I just couldn't see in another uniform.
Strikeout of O'Neill, top of the zone. 7 strikeouts from Minor, but Cardinals add to the lead. Arenado has driven in 71 this season. Just 1 hit allowed through 4 innings for Jack Flaherty. He is retired 10 straight. Welcome inside our Valley Studios here in St. Louis with Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Couldn't draw it up really any better right now for Jack Flaherty and the Cardinals.
Oh, he's been so good. He's been aggressive and pounding the strike zone. It's been strike 1. He's gone to work after that. And look, he's been efficient also. That 6-pitch 4th inning helped out quite a bit for Jack Flaherty. But you got to love what you're seeing. A lot of life on that fastball of his as well.
Pitch taken for a ball. Andrew Benintendi. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Dozier on deck, and then O'Hearn. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Out of play, 2 strikes. Benintendi this month, just 3 hits, 3 for 19. Goes down to get it, hits it out of play. So pitch count nearing 60. I mean, I think you could say 80 to 90 pitches tonight would be fair for Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, I would think somewhere around there. 75 was the most that he went during his rehab stint. I do think that you're going to keep a close eye on any stress. Now, there's been very little to this point.
Called, 3rd strike. 11 in a row, 5 strikeouts for Flaherty. More on Jack Flaherty. Check in with the Cat.
Denny, here's what Mike Shildt said about Jack's return. Shildt said, we get back a guy who may have been on his way to a Cy Young. Pretty big hit to lose a guy like that. He also brings an edge to our clubhouse, which we really appreciate. Shildt also said, returning from a long rehab presents challenges for any player. Shildt told me reacclimating himself to big league competition and the feel and rhythm of that, if anyone can do it quickly, it's Jack. And Dan, we're seeing a lot of that tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, he's been locked in so far. Fun to watch. Hunter Dozier struck out his first time up. Just the lift that it gives the ball club too to see this. He's back pitching well, and with the understanding that you think he would be out there every 5th day for this stretch run.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's exciting for sure, and the rhythm is there for him. The tempo is there, the timing, the confidence, everything about it. And you know that it was a rough time for Jack during the rehab. This is a guy that's used to getting after it. He loves competition. And when you don't have it for what was 73 days for Jack, you want it. You want it badly, and he's taking advantage of it here.
Good pitch, trying to get him to chase. Doesn't. 1-2. Two balls and 2 strikes.
We've seen Jack try to go in miss in off the plate and double up. We've also seen him be able to use that slider off. It looks like they're going to double up again here on Hunter Dozier.
Pulled foul down the left field line. It was Jack Flaherty's 554th career strikeout. 35th already all time in Cardinals history. He's done that pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's been piling them up, that's for sure. And that's one thing that the Cardinals rotation did not have a ton of.
Fly ball into right, backing up Rondon, and with the catch. 12 in a row, Jack Flaherty. Well, he had the long first inning back, and since then just getting better and better.
Yeah, it's not really like he was struggling in that first inning. There were some foul balls, but he was still getting ahead, but really has done a good job of getting outs quicker, attacking. Even with 2 strikes, you're not seeing a ton of nibbling and letting anybody get back into the counts.
So 2 outs. Ryan O'Hearn. Well, that's a tight breaking ball there for strike 1.
He's got a really nice feel for that too, and you would think coming off of the IL, and I guess the nice thing is being on the left oblique, he was still able to throw quite a bit even early on during his rehab, but to have feel for as many pitches as he does today is impressive.
Gets underneath it, popped up right side. Tommy Edman, the grass in shallow right. 13 in a row for Jack Flaherty. 3-0 Cardinals as we head to the 6th. Game summary: 3-0 Cardinals. Return of Jack Flaherty. 1 hit allowed. Nolan Arenado is driven in 2. Tyler O'Neill went back-to-back with Nolan. Home runs, and Yadier Molina, career double, number 397, 5th all-time for catchers. He leads it off 1 for 2 tonight. Minor's still in the ball game. Pitch number 94. And Yadi pulls it foul. He's grounded out to third. Double down the left field line. And 1 for 2. Missed low and outside. Two balls, 1 strike. Cardinals bullpen the last couple of series really stepped up against Kansas City, and then the Pirates. We'll see them at some point tonight. Popped up Whit Merrifield for the first out. Be a week from tonight. We'll honor the Hall of Famers Lou Brock, Bob Gibson. Friday, August 20th. 20,000 fans receive a T-shirt featuring Lou Brock's number and signature. Sunday, 20,000 fans, T-shirt with Bob Gibson's number and signature, courtesy of Edward Jones. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Paul DeYoung. Those two had legible, beautiful signatures, which you don't always see in today's professional sports world.
It's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
One of my favorite signatures to see, and it amazes me, all the things that he was able to sign, is Red Schoendienst.
Yeah.
You saw every single letter. And he
Long
took his
last
time.
name, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've heard some athletes say, you know, it's a privilege that somebody would ask you for an autograph, so it's worth my time to make it legible. I agree with that. How bad was yours?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, no one wanted it.
There's a high fly ball into right, and Hunter Dozier makes the catch. Go ahead and sign this. Sign the bottom for me, and I'll.
Are you going to critique it?
Is it a real? Give me the real signature.
Yeah, I'm certainly not giving you the one I use for checks.
Bader 1 for 2 with an infield hit. That's terrible.
What do you mean it's terrible?
That's exactly what I mean. That's a terrible signature.
No, it's like a huge B.
I can't even hardly see the T.
It's an enormous T. I mean, you might want to hold on to that, actually.
Strike to Bader.
Keep those game notes, Dan. You want me to date
That's
that
really
for
your
you?
signature?
Yeah.
You need to get that's
You
terrible.
can't just change your signature.
You should be embarrassed. 1 pitch.
But a lot of things to be embarrassed about, Dan. That ain't it.
Near the left field line, catch made by Nicky Lopez. Minor kind of shaking his hand, and well, Bader not real pleased. As presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Union Station in Kansas City. 13 in a row set down by Flaherty as we move to the 6th. Emmanuel Rivera. First pitch in the dirt. I would imagine the Royals go to their pen next inning, and we'll see at what point the Cardinals do so with Jack Flaherty. Only had 68 pitches. He had a 6-pitch 4th inning, and that really helped out. It's also, I think, and you touched upon this and talked about it earlier, it's also the eye test. What are you seeing?
Yeah, for sure. And look, the eye test has been so good to this point. He does fall behind Rivera here 2-0. I'd be surprised if they end up pushing Jack past this 6th inning. But who knows? You get a quick out here, 2-0, a couple of other quick ones. You just never know.
2-1 the count.
But he has not appeared to labor to this point. Anytime a pitch comes out of his hand wrong, maybe he gets under something. The next pitch, he made the adjustment quickly.
Lined and off the glove of DeYoung to Edman to first, and got him. How about that? 6-4-3 and a pick on the other end by Goldie.
I got a feeling they might end up taking another look at this one, but impressive if it stands to this point.
And they'll overturn that.
It might take a minute. How do you, standing there where he is, out?
Well, he's got the shift just off the glove there of DeYoung, and they made it close. So Rivera is aboard.
I feel like we got hosed on this one, Dan.
Not quite, my man. So they overturn it. Tommy made it close. And it brings in Gerard Dyson. It'll be ruled a base hit. Dyson, a ground ball. No way to get 2 with his speed, and they will get the lead man. Cardinals Edward Jones honor the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame class of 21 and 20. Tommy Hurd, John Tudor, Bill White. Edward Jones Hall of Fame induction ceremony a week from tomorrow. That'll be outside of Ballpark Village, just across the street from Busch Stadium. It is open, free to the public. Come on down. Cardinals.com/HOF. Looking forward to it. Dyson, your runner at first base. And a strike on Merrifield, who is 0 for 2, now 2 for 14 in the 4 games against St. Louis. Merrifield 1 for 9 against Flaherty, showing bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, between Wainwright's start at Pittsburgh, Flaherty tonight, combining the two, the Cardinals haven't seen a runner past first base for 14 innings. The masterpiece the other night, Flaherty has been awfully good tonight.
Something you look for out of a 1-2 punch, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Did he go? Did not.
Never know over there.
It's McFarland. Jimmy had a great visit with TJ McFarland. He's on the right, the lefty, Ryan Helsley on the left, but TJ was Jim's guest on the pregame, and he talked about the long journey to get his college degree. He had committed to pitch at Mizzou, then went professional. Fly ball to Rondon in right. Parents said, hey, you better get that degree, and he did. Also, TJ and his wife expecting their first child coming up as well. BJC healthcare difference maker Jack Flaherty.
Well, a difference he has made for sure in this ball game, in the feel of this club and down the stretch, but he has been so in command of everything. The fastball spotting up, the slider's been good. He's broken off a couple of really nice curveballs as well. Just been so good to see this guy back on the mound and picking up right where he left off. The guy that was dominating this season, 8-1 record before he went on the IL.
Nicky Lopez, fastball at 94. Velocity's been pretty consistent tonight as well.
Yeah, still has it, and it's still down in the zone with that good plane. You're not seeing the arm side misses. That's something you look for a lot of times later in the game as the pitch count gets up. If a guy's getting tired, does he miss on the arm side? Is he spinning off a little bit? And that has not been the case here for Jack.
The 0-1. 95. Nothing in 2.
I'm not messing around right here. I'm doing the same thing again. I'm throwing him that same fastball down and away. Lopez likes anything up in the zone. You can get him to go fishing on some other stuff. You could try to toy with the slider in. I don't know if I would.
If he gets him here, pitch number 79, certainly you'd be tempted to have him go back out.
Went with the curveball there, 0-2. Expect him to go back out with the fastball, see if he can get him away.
Two and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nicky Lopez grounded back to Flaherty, also grounded out to short. Dyson, the runner at first base, and now time is called. Chance for Yachty, and got him. Oh yeah, what a throw. Dyson sliding right into the tag, and Yachty gets one of the fastest runners in the sport
On a curveball.
Wow. A caught stealing for Yadier Molina. Little hug for Jack Flaherty. Some help along the way. We move to the 7th, 3-0. Welcome back, Jack Flaherty. His night is through. Get the hugs, handshakes, smiles. As I said earlier, I'm not sure you could draw it if any better for the young right-hander.
No, look, I don't know what everyone's expectations were of him coming back first time in 2.5 months, but that surpassed, I think, mine coming in. He was awesome. Chevy called to the bullpen. Domingo Tapia in. Let's see if the Cardinals can continue to put a little bit more pressure on, some more runs on the board, because as you mentioned earlier, this bullpen has been worked quite a bit. You'd love to be able to use some different characters.
Here's Sosa on the first pitch, grounded to short. 1 away. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Well, this is a Kansas City pen that also was used a lot in their previous game. 5 1/3. Shutout baseball. It was actually the first time this year that the Kansas City pen held the opposition scoreless for at least 5. So, as you mentioned, they've been worked a lot too, and we'll see how Mike Shildt tries to navigate the final 9 outs. Minor went 6, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 solo home runs. Cardinals went back-to-back, and he struck out 7. One and one.
That 4th inning for Minor was just weird. I mean, it just felt like the wheels fell off for him. Then he snapped back in the 5th and 6th and looked good. But that's all it takes sometimes, is a couple of mistakes. That was the case in this one. It was the Arenado slider, a changeup to O'Neill.
Well, the night ends for Flaherty with a curveball that was around 77 miles an hour that Yadi turns into a caught stealing of one of the fastest guys in the sport, Gerard Dyson. Incredible.
It is incredible. And it's one of those things you continue to think, all right, well, this guy's getting up there in years. Certainly we could take some chances here, especially with a guy like Dyson. And then he just shows you time and time again that it's not the best idea. And what confidence you have as a pitcher in spots, knowing, I mean, the Royals like to run, and they should, with guys like Merrifield, guys like Dyson. Lopez can run as well. You have the confidence to throw any pitch in any count.
Pitch was up in the air, right center, and Dyson tracks it down. Jose Rondon 1 for 3 tonight. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
We put our customers first, and they returned the favor. Forbes ranked us the #1 bank in the United States according to our customers. If you're ready for award-winning support, stop by anytime.
Tommy Edman 0 for 3, but has scored a run, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch for the Cubs. Partner have fallen on hard times. They were just swept in a 4-game series by Milwaukee. They lost 12-4 last night. They're trailing in the middle of the 6th, 14-5 against Miami.
Say it ain't so, Dan. Really?
It has been a struggle here recently after all the deals.
Kind of could see that coming when you let go of your nucleus. Now it's all about the next step. They all knew that was coming. I mean, when you sell off Baez and Bryant, Rizzo and Kimbrel, it's going to happen. Chafin also went in a deal. It's all about the next step. Like, what are you building towards? Did you get the right prospects? Do you have the right idea? We're going to find out.
3-1 on Edman. Cincinnati, they picked up another win. They beat the Phillies 6-1. Joey Votto, his 26th home run.
When are the hard times coming for them, Dan? Let's go.
Milwaukee and Pittsburgh postponed tonight. Ground ball. Merrifield. Tapio. A 1-2-3. Time to stretch. Cardinals on top. Out at Kauffman Stadium, 3-0 our score in favor of St. Louis. Back-to-back solo home runs in the fourth inning. Arenado, O'Neill, sac fly, RBI for Arenado in the fifth, serving as the designated hitter. The bullpen yesterday used a bunch of different guys after Wade LeBlanc gave the Cardinals 2 innings. Like I said, a lot of different guys.
Yeah, a pretty big workload there, and TJ McFarland, a part of it, picked up the win yesterday. 123 pitches overall from the bullpen, but 123 very good pitches. They were solid, and TJ McFarland looking to be the guy to hold on to this 3-0 lead.
Pitch taken in. Nicky Lopez. There's Lars Nootbaar. Takes over in right field. The 1-0. The 1-1 pitch. Foul ball, 1-2. Lopez left standing last inning. A caught stealing with Dyson at second base to end it. And Jack Flaherty tonight in his return to the lineup and return to the mound. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. At one point set down 13 in a row and allowed a total of 2 hits and no runs. No walks.
Say that again.
6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, the no walks thing got me excited. I like that.
Well, the Cardinals bullpen after this series with the Atlanta Braves in 5 games. You had the 3 with the Royals, 2 with Pittsburgh. Did not need them for one of those games because of Adam Wainwright, but the bullpen 20 2/3, 11 hits, 2 earned runs, 25 strikeouts, and only 2 walks.
Oh, that is a beautiful thing. We know the free passes have caught up to this team this year. It's happened so many times, but it's all about what you do next.
Chop to third. Sosa makes the play. Jimmy, what do you have for us?
Yeah, McFarland came on for the injured Wade LeBlanc yesterday. He told me scrambling to get ready in a situation like that isn't easy. He told me it's actually a very scary thing because you have no time to prep, and they say you have as much time as you need on the mound, but everyone is looking at you, just staring at you, so you always feel rushed. He said, I actually had to do it a few times in my career, but it doesn't make it any easier. I actually heard a few fans yell, why is this guy taking so long? But Danny, he's been very, very good for the Cardinals.
There's Salvador Perez, 1 for 2. I love the Cats interview with McFarland again, talking about his education. He and his wife are going to have a baby pretty soon, and he's found a home here with the Cardinals.
Yeah, exciting times for sure, and they've leaned on him a bit more here recently, and he's been making pitches, getting outs for him. It's funny when he's talking about he can hear the fans. Sometimes it's worse playing in front of not as many people because you hear people. Remember playing against the Marlins sometimes, and just being on the mound and having one guy wearing me out, and I hear every single word. When it's thousands of people, it's white noise.
That's inside the third base line, down into the corner. Perez, a .342 hitter this season against left-handed pitching. I think Tyler O'Neill needs to put a glove on that foot. Did he try to stop that with his foot?
I think he
kind of rattled around there.
Wedged it out of there. And Salvi, nice work keeping this thing fair. Gets the hands in just out of the reach of Sosa.
One out double. Carlos Santana. They'll turn him around. 282 from this side of the plate. Just 3 of his 17 home runs hit from this side of the plate. There's strike 1. Ryan Helsley up in the St. Louis bullpen. Wade Davis up in the Royals bullpen. Ground ball. Sosa looks back the runner. And that is out number 2. 1985 ring, the giveaway coming up. National League Champions Mystery Player Ring, Saturday, August 21st, courtesy of Edward Jones. Individual player rings celebrate a few of the top players from that club. Tickets at Cardinals.com a week from tomorrow. Andrew Benintendi 0 for 2. Fly to left and struck out. Ground ball up the middle. And DeYoung to his left. A scoreless inning. T.J. McFarland. We head to the 8th. Goldie, Arenado, O'Neill coming up. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Missouri Baptist Medical Center. Doctors call it world-class medicine. You'll call it MoBap. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Cardinals in Kansas City, a 3-0 lead. If you've just joined us, Jack Flaherty in his return to the St. Louis rotation, 6 innings, 2 hits, no walks, struck out 5 at one point, retired 13 in a row. Chevy called to the pen. Wade Davis. Offensively, the Cardinals with back-to-back solo home runs. Arenado, O'Neill in the 4th. And Nolan picked up another run batted in with a sac fly in the 5th, and it's 3-0.
Pretty exciting to think about Jack Flaherty building off of this outing. As good as he was, as good as he looked, and as you know, Dan, his next outing is going to be against the Brewers.
If Waino, Flaherty lined up for that home series beginning Tuesday night. And a strike to Paul Goldschmidt. Struck out and a single. Pair of strikeouts, 1 for 3. Last 9 games, 8 innings for Davis, only 2 hits allowed. He's retired 23 of the last 27 he's seen. Goldschmidt, good numbers against this right-hander, 3 for 4, double, 2 home runs. Two and one. The 3-1 pitch to Goldie. And a leadoff walk. So Davis walks the leadoff man, and it brings in Arenado, who's driven in 2 of the 3. First pitch to Nolan Arenado is lifted in the air to center. Catch is made. Nolan the DH tonight. Back to first goes Goldschmidt. And it brings in Tyler O'Neill, who homered for the 19th time back in the 4th. Now a quick word from Rally House.
Get ready for kickoff, St. Louis. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Chiefs 2021 sideline gear and the latest college styles.
First pitch to O'Neill, taken for a ball. Runner goes, and Goldschmidt in there safely.
A heck of a jump by Goldie right there. Salvador Perez had no chance to get him. This was all stolen off of Wade Davis. Soon as there was a small little movement of that heel coming off the ground, even before the heel come off, he knew exactly when he was going. Just a smart base runner.
You know, Goldschmidt is above 80% in stolen bases for his career.
It's not surprising.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the fastest guy. You got to be one of the smartest. Pick your spots.
3-0.
And actually, for as big of a fella as he is, he moves pretty well.
He had a 30 stolen base season at one point in Arizona. He's 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts going back to 2019. Turn him loose on 3-0. Or just take the walk. Second in the inning. Runners at first and second for Yadier Molina, who doubled back in the 4th. Davis in 10 pitches, only 2 have been strikes. Cardinals trying to add to their 3-0 lead. Strike one.
Yachty right there just being aggressive early in the count. Couldn't quite catch up to that fastball, but we've seen that a lot. Runner in scoring position. He tries to make something happen early in counts.
By the way, for Goldschmidt, that was stolen base number 136 of his career. 136.
Something to be said for being a complete baseball player, right? I mean, Goldie, there's not an aspect of his game that he doesn't work on and that he doesn't care about. He's so well rounded.
Going over the cards, make sure they've got the right signs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yadier Molina 1 for 3. Irvin Santana begins to throw for Kansas City in their bullpen. The 1-1 pitch. Fights it off. Little flare to right. That ball is down. Goldschmidt will score. And it's a 4-0 Cardinal lead. 2-hit night. Yadier Molina 4-0 St. Louis. And the Cardinals have scored now 4 more runs in 9 straight games.
How many times have we seen this, Dan? Early in the count again, he takes the big hack, looking to do some damage. This time here, just kind of gets trying to fight off the breaking ball, jams him, but shoots it the other way. Just right over that second base area.
Tyler O'Neill from first to third. That play right in front of him. He could see that was going to get down, and with his speed easily into third base. That pitch taken high by Paul DeYoung. 22nd multi-hit game of the season for Yadier Molina. The 1-0 pitch to DeYoung. 0 for 3 tonight. Pair of strikeouts, fly to right. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Harrison Bader on deck. Two and two. The 2-2 pitch, and DeYoung drives it out to deep right field. Dozier is back. He'll make the catch. Tagging up, Tyler O'Neill. He will score, and it's a 5-0 St. Louis lead. DeYoung with RBI number 40.
These are huge runs in this inning here. Yachty driving in one. Paul DeYoung there getting the sac fly. You get away from that, your save situation a little bit, able to utilize some different relievers here potentially, and love to see this club be able to manufacture.
That was DeYoung's first sacrifice fly on the year. Two outs, runner at first. Up and into Bader. Well, since the turn of the century, no team has had a better record in August than the Cardinals in all of baseball. They need to continue that here in 2021 to have a shot in September.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an epic one for sure. And look, nobody likes to see a team dig a hole, but this team's going to fight to see if they can get out of it.
Breaking ball taken low, and that's 20 pitches for Davis here in the top of the 8th. Issued a couple of walks. Both have come around to score. When you think about that, 20 pitches and how that plays into maybe tomorrow's game too. The 2-0. 2-1. Three and one. Cardinals starting play tonight, Brad, just now 6.5 out in the wild card, so they have made up a little ground in that area. But as we mentioned, not a lot of time on the schedule, but let's see what they can do.
No, that's it. I mean, that ends up being the key too. And all of the teams in the wild card race, they're flawed. I mean, look, the San Diego Padres have not been pitching well. We know Cincinnati Reds, the influx that they can have. They've been playing some really good baseball here recently.
Phillies lost, so you'd be tied with Philadelphia. Atlanta, long rain delay in Washington. They'll play a little bit later tonight. That's strike 2 on Bader.
Yeah, and the Cardinals can't be worried, and they're not. I mean, they're not sitting here looking at every single game. Did the Braves lose? What about the Phillies, the Reds, the Padres, the Dodgers? Can't worry about that. They need to worry about playing really good baseball. They are able to put that together. Maybe something magical ends up happening for them, but it's been it's nice to get Jack Flaherty back. It's great to have reinforcements.
3-2. There goes Yachty, and a swing and a miss. Strikeout of Bader. Cardinals pick up a pair. It's 5-0. John Lester tomorrow went 5 1/3 last time out. 5 runs, 6 hits, 92 pitches, no decision. And that was a 6-5 Royals win Sunday at Busch Stadium. 5 of the 6 hits singles. It'll be his 3rd start as a Cardinal. So Lester against Keller. And that is a look at your Budweiser What's on Tap. We'll be on the air at 5:30 tomorrow. TJ McFarland out for his 2nd inning. Gave up a double in the 7th. And then Perez, who had doubled, was stranded. 5-0 our score. First pitch swung on and missed. You pointed out during the break that this sinker of McFarland, it plays.
Yeah, it does. It's got good late life. It's very difficult to square up, and even with that double last inning, still only 13 pitches. Look at that. I mean, it looks like an off-speed offering, but it's just that good two-seam, and then he can throw, you know, the little change-up right there off of it. Be able to keep guys off balance. But I really like what we've seen out of TJ McFarland. He throws strikes, he's aggressive, gets weak contact. That plays.
Under Dozier, 0 for 2. Royals with a total of 3 hits tonight. Flaherty gave up 2 in 6 innings. McFarland the double last inning, and that has been it. Good effort. Base hit past the diving Tommy Edman. And the leadoff man aboard here in the home half of the 8th for Kansas City. Had the shift on, change up, and he almost got it.
Yeah, it just ends up staying up in the zone a little bit more than he wanted it to. Hunter Dozier just gets the end of the bat off this thing. It's not crushed, it's just hitting a really good spot with the shift. And he's just a ground ball away here from a double play anyhow. Get another one.
Hanser Alberto pinch hitting for the designated hitter O'Hearn. Ground ball, base hit. Back-to-back singles. Dozier staying at second base. Runners at first and second. Nobody out.
Well, when you didn't see the defensive alignment beforehand, you think off the bat, boom, there's your tailor-made double play. But shift is on. It's a wide open right side, and it's a nice job by Alberto, who's obviously looking to go that way and shoot it right through that hole.
Giovanni Gallegos is throwing in the St. Louis pen.
Yeah, Gio was up a little bit earlier, too. Then the Cardinals scored a couple of runs and were able to sit him down. But at this point, Cardinals trying to seal down anything they possibly can. Giovanni Gallegos, 30 pitches in the ball game yesterday. But he did have 4 days of rest coming into it.
Would have thought maybe Ryan Helsley, one of the guys that they stayed away from, and he's so good with inherited runners, might make sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's and we saw Ryan Helsley up in this ball game early also.
Right.
I think that you're just kind of at that point of the season where every game means so much that you end up going to the guys that you've put in these spots so many times and you trust in these spots.
Kansas City 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position tonight. Rivera at the plate, 1 for 6 in this spot.
For TJ McFarland too, my thought process is still do exactly what you've done. You end up getting 2 ground balls. That's going to be it though for TJ McFarland.
That's it for McFarland. Gallegos coming in with 2 runners on, nobody out in the Kansas City half of the 8th. Well, it was 30 pitches yesterday, and now Giovanni Gallegos with nobody out, 2 on. Chevy Cole to the pen, comes in with a 5-run lead here in the 8th.
Well, we were talking about it beforehand. You do have Ryan Helsley, who has had a couple of days off. He was up earlier in the game. You mentioned how good he's been with inherited runners, but Giovanni Gallegos, this has kind of been his spot. He's been the 8th inning guy and got the trust in and going for him. And the inherited runner numbers for Giovanni Gallegos, well, they're pretty good as well. Look at the league average at 35.1. Gio sitting here at just over 11%. So that's what the Cardinals banking on in this spot.
Emmanuel Rivera 1 for 2 tonight. Cardinals about hit the Royals 7-5, and they lead 5-0. Right-handers hitting 181 against Gallegos, lefties 186. The opposition with runners in scoring position 167. And the first pitch is a ball. Well, the one thing that you noticed with Gallegos yesterday, the velocity was still there. He was hitting 95, 96. But you do question, is the curve, slider, whatever you want to call it, is that as sharp, and is he as locked in with his location as he has been earlier? And probably the answer is no.
Yeah, no, it's, look, the workload ends up taking its toll, but it still comes down to his stuff is nasty. I mean, even when he's a little bit off, that breaking ball can be so effective, and especially in spots like this where guys are going to try to get big.
Bader backing up, makes the catch, runner tags, and his throw going properly into second base.
It's smart. You bring it into second. Don't allow the other runner. Don't try to be a hero. Make a great throw to third base and allow the runner to get into scoring position. You keep your double play in order here.
Be tough to double up Dyson, who was caught stealing back in the 6th. That ended the 6th inning for the Royals. And tonight he is 0 for 2. Good pitch. Here was Yadier Molina, Dyson running. It was a curveball and a perfect throw. He slid right into the tag. And another caught stealing for Yadier Molina.
It's amazing. I mean, it really is watching him do what he does on that pitch in that spot. And Dan, as we've said time and time again, there are a lot of catchers out there in a situation that I think a guy's running. It's fastball all day. That's all they call. Not Yadi. He's calling the best pitch for the spot.
Yadi, by the way, 17 of 39. There's only been 39 attempts with him behind the plate. And tonight we're playing in game number 115. That's 44%, which actually is above his normal average and what has been his career average.
Well, best in Major League Baseball, and that's something, Dan, we've been saying for quite some time, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh-2 pitch on Dyson, on its way. Got him. 2 away. Paints the outside corner and a strikeout. 6 strikeouts combined for the Cardinals pitching staff tonight.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to place a ball any better than that one. That's perfectly located fastball down away. And he comes in, inherits a tough spot with a couple of runners on, gets the fly out, gets the punch out, and one guy away from being able to get out of this.
Here comes Mike Maddox to talk it over with Gallegos. Whit Merrifield is 0 for 3. Fly to center, grounded to third, fly to right. Two outs and 2 on. Cardinals catch a little break. It may have scooted through Yachty, but hit our home plate umpire.
Yeah, Jordan Baker a wall back there tonight. Nice job. This gets right past Yachty's left arm, and Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, knocks that thing down. Wow.
I got to wonder if maybe, just thinking out loud here, is Ryan Helsley your guy potentially for the 9th if Reyes is down? He had 24 pitches yesterday.
Could very well be. I've seen him stirring in the bullpen a little bit, but I mean, that's normal anyhow.
Check swing did not go. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, not all things are equal either, because you think to yourself, all right, well, Gio threw 30 pitches. Reyes only threw 24. Surely one would be ready. Well, Alex has thrown more recently. He threw, he's thrown 2 out of the last 3 games. Giovanni Gallegos did have 4 days off before throwing the 30 pitches yesterday.
Reyes, it's been on, off, off. So he's thrown in 4 games this week. Also, it's dependent on what your score may be, too. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0.
I think the idea too, bringing Giovanni Gallegos into this game, is so you don't have to go to Reyes in the 9th inning. Lock this thing down.
Three-0 pitch. 3 and no. He walked him. Wow.
I think that was for the ball he blocked.
Bases loaded. I mean, where is that?
That's a perfect pitch right at the bottom of the zone. But for Giovanni Gallegos, look, don't be in that spot, right? I mean, it was a 3-0 count. Get right back to attack mode here.
Nicky Lopez is 0 for 3. Four for 24 with the bases loaded in his career. Two outs, bases loaded. First pitch to Lopez by Gallegos. Ball 1. Nobody throwing yet in the St. Louis pen. We have seen this before. The 175th batter to come up against St. Louis with the bases loaded here in 2021. There's a strike, 1-1.
I like seeing that strike get right back into the count. I don't want to see any history this evening, Dan.
Understood.
Neither does that guy. Going to reset here. This would be a good time to be on the same page. Bases loaded.
1 ball and 1 strike on Lopez. 1-2.
That's that late breaking slider. That thing is so nasty. Look at it spin and just drops.
Inning started, back-to-back singles. And then Gallegos came in for McFarland. Rivera flied to center. Dyson struck out. Merrifield the walk. Bases loaded. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giovanni trying to send us to the 9th. The 1-2 pitch.
Went with that slider again. This one just never had a chance. Yachty, really nice job squaring up to that thing, deadening it. Easy for me to say, right in front of him.
Out of play.
Love to see Giovanni Gallegos right here. You don't want to get to that guy. As good as he's been, Lopez is your guy, and you can absolutely get him. You can get him with a few things, but slider for a strike right here, just bottom of the zone. Easier said than done in a spot like this, but you'll get him.
Slapped foul. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Didn't go.
About as close as you're going to get without going. Gio wanted it. Yachty wanted it. Doesn't get it. 3-2 count. 2 outs.
There go the runners on the 3-2 and a high fly ball. Left center. Bader under it. And some emotion from Giovanni Gallegos. keeps the Royals off the board, and it's 5-0. Cardinals about to hit the Royals 7-5. Both teams have left 5 on. 5-0 is our score. Urban Santana, been around a long time. Chevy called to the pen. 26th appearance for Kansas City. They have used Minor for 6, Tapia the 7th, Davis the 8th, now Santana here in the 9th. Cardinals had Flaherty for 6. McFarland win an inning, pitched into the 8th inning, gave up a couple of base hits, 3 total, no damage done. Gallegos came on with nobody out, 2 on, and walked a man, walked him loaded, but pitched out of trouble. So it's 5-0. 9th inning rolls in.
Saw some emotion there out of Giovanni Gallegos as he gets that fly ball to get out of that bases loaded jam. 3-2 count on Nicky Lopez. Love seeing that. You don't like getting in a jam, and obviously he inherited a couple of those runners, but love seeing him get out of it.
Mentioned the emotion. I'm not sure we have seen that from Gallegos this year like that as he walked off the mound and to the dugout. I'm sure he's been frustrated here the last handful of games.
Yeah, man, of course. And when everything doesn't go exactly the way you want it to, there is some frustration that ends up mounting, and getting out of a spot like that, there's some raw emotion there. And you also know how big these games are. Well, how much they mean for you, mean for your ball club.
0-2 the count. Sosa 0 for 3 tonight. Cardinals trying to go to 3 games above 500, pick up win number 59.
I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, since early June, since they were 2 above.
Yeah. This teeter-totter has not been fun around that 500 mark. We all know that 500 mark's not going to get you to postseason baseball. It's an uphill climb, but you got to be able to take advantage, and that's what they've done here in the last couple of series. They take advantage of teams that they should be beating. Take 2 or 3 from the Royals, sweep the Pirates.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
A good start so far here in this series.
The 2-2. Ground ball to short. Ooh, made that close getting down the line. I don't think Sosa does. Always hustles, brings some energy to the ballpark.
He does for sure. You see it even on games when Sosa's not playing. Damn, we're down on the field when he's doing early work. Like he brings so much and puts so much into everything that he does. And I think that having attitudes like that, having guys like that around too, I think that's infectious.
Here's some of the fans. Nude.
They can't get enough of this young man. Again, the call yesterday, Dan. If you didn't do the Newt,
you had to do it, right?
It's his first career home run. Of course you had to do it. I was doing it while I was watching.
It's going to be like 40 years from now, and they're going to play that, and they're going to say, "Grandpa, what is this Newt?"
No way. All the grandkids are going to be doing it too. Newt. They're going to love it.
I like this guy. We've seen him in limited time, but I like him.
Got a lot of tools.
Jimmy talks a lot about his swing. It's flat, which will allow him to hit the ball the other way.
Give yourself more chances that way, don't you? The bat ends up staying through the plane a little bit longer. Even if you get fooled on a pitch, you can still drive it the other way. Pull pitches, it ends up getting in on you.
Ryan Helsley throwing now in the St. Louis bullpen. The 1-1. Missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Talking with those that had him in the minor leagues, they said one of his best assets, pitch recognition. Very good in that regard. And you'd have to think with playing time more and more at the big league level that continues to improve.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and also the fact that at the big league level, the strike zone shrinks a little bit too. So that eye can kind of go to the next level.
Nootbaar, a drive, right center. He's done it again. Wow. Noot. They're saying it in Kansas City. His second home run in the Bigs. Back-to-back days. 6-0. St. Louis.
Noot. Look at Noot all pumped up, and rightfully so. 449 feet, puts this thing into the water, gets a center cut fastball. There's that balance, there's that smooth swing that we were just talking about. That's majestic right there.
Into the fountains. Don't see that very often. The strike on Tommy Edman. Lars Nootbaar. He's going to earn himself a start or two.
You think about that, like that is such a difficult job to come off the bench. And Dan, you were laying it out earlier how good the pinch hitting has been for the Cardinals. Guys coming off the bench just in general and having success. That's not an easy thing to do.
Tommy Edman, right field, drops in. Tommy two bags on his way to second. What else? It's a double.
You coined that phrase, Tommy two bags?
I think I might. When he gets on, it's a double. It seems like every time now.
It really does. It's a changeup. It hangs up. The ball actually hangs up in the air a little bit also, but not able to corral that thing in right field. You see, he's thinking about it, thinking about diving, but Dozier doesn't end up going for it. Tries to keep it in front of him. Could have taken the risk there in that spot. I get it's a 6-0 ball game, but you do have Dyson, who you knew was behind you already.
So Helsley is joined by Miller. And a strike to Goldschmidt. Last time the Cardinals were 3 above the 500 mark, all the way back on June 5th. And it's August 13th.
It is time to leave that 500 way in the rear view.
Taken low. That is a bomb, by the way, with Nootbaar. I know you gave the distance, and we've been at that ballpark a number of times. You hit one in right center in the fountains. That is a bomb.
Yeah, you're getting some. That's for sure.
It was 108 miles an hour off the bat. And the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. And Goldschmidt chops it left side, diving stop. Kept on the infield by Lopez. That saves a run. Base hit for Paul Goldschmidt. He's been on base 3 times after the first 2 plate appearances, striking out. 2 hits and a walk.
That's good play by Lopez.
Santana got the first man to ground out. Sosa to short. Home run Nootbaar. Double Edman. Infield hit for Goldie. Runners at the corners. Nolan Arenado got things going back in the 4th with a solo home run. Kept in front by Perez, and the runner at first. Goldschmidt stays put. Goldschmidt is 28th multi-hit game of the season, tied with Arenado and Carlson for most on the team. The 1-1 and a strike, 1-2.
Hey, you have to think with that Nootbaar home run, back-to-back games. You mentioned the might be earning some starts. Dylan Carlson still dealing with the wrist. Might see that soon.
You also think about those pinch hitting spots. Now, this was not one of them. Yesterday was. He came in defensively for Rondon, but that's an option. Remember, he had an opposite field base hit against the Royals last weekend. Picked up a run, batted in. 2-2 the count on Nolan Arenado, trying to add to the 6-run lead. Inside and lost his helmet. Full count. Three and two.
You know, Santana, at this point, we see teams attack Nolan Arenado in, and 2 pitches ago he got in there, but you know he's going to try to probably stay away from him here.
And that is a soft liner, caught it short by Lopez.
Come on, Tyler.
Tyler O'Neill on base twice tonight. 2 runs scored, solo home run, and a walk and a run scored. Good to see him back in the lineup tonight.
Yes, it is for sure. He had the first day off in Pittsburgh, was able to start game 2, out again yesterday, and feeling good enough to be in the lineup, and obviously good enough to drop that home run.
Off the plate for a ball. Two on, runners at the corners, 2 out, the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oof. 1 and 2.
That's tough right there. I mean, this is a pitch. You can't do anything with that. It's off the plate. It's away. It's a good take. But a bad spot you end up in here.
The 1-2. And a strikeout of O'Neill. Lars Nootbaar strikes again. Back-to-back days and home runs. Bottom of the 9th rolls in, and it's 6-0. Well, so far so good on this road trip. Cardinals a chance to make it 4 wins in a row, and tonight doing it behind our Budweiser player of the game, Jack Flaherty.
That had to feel good for Jack today. It had to feel good for his team to get that guy back out there, and Jack did not miss a beat. He was spotting his fastball, had life on it too. We're seeing him up there 94, 95, 96 miles an hour. Punched out 5, didn't walk anybody. What a fantastic way to get back into the rotation as the Chevy call to the bullpen here. Ryan Helsley in for his 50th game of the season, looking to lock this thing down.
So the Cardinals 6-run lead, 10 hits tonight, out hit the Royals 10-5. Royals will have Salvador Perez to lead it off in the bottom of the 9th. Again, we're on the air tomorrow. Note the start time hour earlier. So we'll have the pregame for you at 5:30. John Lester and Brad Keller. And then Sunday, Jay Happ, Chris Bubich, pair of lefties.
Well, really happy to see Salvador Perez up in this spot as opposed to the one that he could have been up in last inning. Giovanni Gallegos was able to shut the door there, get Nicky Lopez to pop out to center field, left him standing there on the on-deck circle.
This is one of the oddities of 2021, starting an inning clean. Ryan Helsley, 31 innings, 34 hits, 6.97 ERA. He's coming in with runners on, 14 innings, 5 hits, a 0 ERA. Doesn't make sense, does it? As Perez hits a line drive out to Bader for the first out.
No, Dan, it makes 0 sense. It makes 0 sense at all. So for Ryan Helsley, though, knowing those numbers, this is the power of just believing that the bases are juiced. I mean,
I guess it's what it is.
Yeah, you got to go out there.
Up.
It does change some things, right?
Yeah.
Get a little extra adrenaline going out there, but he's going to have to just picture there's guys on base, act like you're there. The imagination's a beautiful thing, you know.
Have to do it, I guess. Santana 0 for 3. Well, you look at the middle of this lineup, it has been shut down by Cardinal pitching tonight. Merrifield 0 for 3, the leadoff man. Lopez 0 for 4. Salvador Perez 1 for 4. Santana 0 for 3. Benintendi is 0 for 3. Dozier 1 for 3. Ground ball, diving stop. Goldschmidt, perfect lead to Helsley at the bag for the second out.
Paul Goldschmidt showing off the entire toolbox today. We've seen him with some clutch hits. He stole a base. He makes a great play here in the 9th inning. Two quick outs here for Ryan Helsley.
And the final hope for the Royals, Andrew Benintendi. Fly to left, grounded to short, struck out. And the first pitch just off the plate at 98. The 1-0. Not going to do much with that pitch.
No, that's going to be tough to handle, especially when you're looking for 98, 99 miles an hour up in the zone. You get that. Good luck.
The 1-1. Royals down to their final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Cardinals trying to make it 4 wins in a row and go to 3 above 500 for the first time since the 5th of June. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. A 1-2-3 for Helsley. And the Cardinals win it by the final of 6-0.
Well, welcome back, Jack Flaherty. What a performance from him, pounding the zone with everything. The Cardinals flexing, showing off the power with back-to-back home runs early in this ball game. And the shutout victory, playing some great baseball. The hope is it continues to carry on as these two talk about how he just attacked and went after these Royals.
Cardinals now 59 and 56. They have won 4 straight. Flaherty was terrific tonight. Lester and Keller tomorrow. A lot more to come. Post-game show comes your way next on Valley Sports.